Go back to this story where we are speaking to Charles Mutama. Charles, a very good evening. I appreciate your time today. You've obviously watched a little bit of that clip that we showed earlier where Zimbabweans are protesting in Vienna against the issue of moving gas and certainly other fossil fuels. What are your immediate reaction to this?
Oh, first of all, thank you, Newzroom Afrika, for inviting me to the channel as your guest. And thank you, Hugo Ribatika, for hosting me tonight. Yes, my immediate reaction to the Zimbabweans that are protesting in Austria is accompanied with some kind of relief that finally Africa has found its voice when it comes to its resources and to its economic and social destiny of its people.
And the timing? Why now? Why not any sooner, do you think?
So the timing, I don't think there's nothing wrong with it, considering that it is or has coincided with this conference which is going on, which is organized by multinational companies that deal with exploration of gas and oil in the world. So it is very appropriate and timely, so that the voice of Africans can be heard when it comes to their resources, particularly the exploration of gas and oil on the African continent and its impact.
Well, Charles, let's go to Zimbabwe, where Zimbabwe is facing an election sometime this year. What are your sentiments on the political landscape in Zimbabwe?
Oh, thank you for that very interesting question related to Zimbabwe in particular. So Zimbabwe is at a watershed point. As you are aware, there has been a crisis which has been going on ad infinitum related to political acrimony between the ruling party, the opposition, and sometimes with civic society. And what is at stake here is a new era where Zimbabweans are able to work together, whether it's in politics, whether it's economically and socially, so that there is national cohesion in terms of how Zimbabwe can extricate itself from the challenges it faces that are internal and external. So this election that is coming up is an election where the electorate needs to be educated on the best candidate and the best political party which can chart a new path.
Well, I'm glad you raised that issue, Charles, because you are the president of the Patriotic Zimbabweans. Are you contesting in this election?
Yes, I am definitely contesting in these elections. That will be announced soon.
And what does your party have to offer the people of Zimbabwe?
Oh, thank you very much for that question, which is very important on the minds of Zimbabweans at the present moment. Our political party will ensure that there is immediate relief to Zimbabweans. We have proposed a wide-ranging or plethora of interventions that are economic. But most importantly, we have proposed the Zimbabwe Diaspora Bond, which we believe, if funded by the Zimbabwean diaspora and indeed the African diaspora, and resuscitate the infrastructure in Zimbabwe, can immediately create jobs for Zimbabweans. Because the one major challenge in Zimbabwe right now is employment creation for people who live mainly in the urban areas. So there is a restlessness and discontent in the urban areas due to lack of opportunities economically, such as job opportunities and, of course, entrepreneurial opportunities. So a robust infrastructural project undertaken by a government will immediately employ numerous citizens. And, of course, there is a downward benefit in as far as infrastructure resuscitation is concerned, which boosts commerce in Zimbabwe. So if you are aware, or if you are not aware, the current infrastructure in Zimbabwe is dilapidated. The roads need revamping. Zimbabwe needs highways. Zimbabwe needs connection from north to east, west to east, and of course, particularly to Mozambique and to South Africa, there is a need for infrastructure which is sound, which can sustain a promising Zimbabwean economy.
Okay.
Above and beyond that, the Zimbabwe Diaspora Bond will not only benefit Zimbabweans who are back home, but will also benefit Zimbabweans who are abroad, who would have invested in the infrastructural development in Zimbabwe through their return on investment.
Charles, appreciate your time. Unfortunately, we've run short of time, but certainly thank you for speaking to us on Africa Today. And that was Patriotic Zimbabweans President Charles Mutama.